Hello and welcome back to the Renegade Podcast. Today we will be speaking about simple and effective strategies to stay consistent with your fitness goals even when life gets busy, so that you can make progress without feeling like the gym is taking over your life. Why consistency is more important than intensity. So I've said it before, but I would rather be good the majority of the time than great only sometimes. This is something that I have done the majority of the decade I've been trying to get fit and healthy and build an aesthetic body, just by being good the majority of the time and understanding that being more consistent over a long time is going to get you more results. I would rather have less intense workouts, less balanced macros, less of a routine over a greater, longer period, because that is going to see me better results. Instead of trying to achieve intensity in my workouts that then fatigue me too much and put me into a state where I don't want to work out, aim for habits that are unachievable and feel let down by the end of the day, and try and hit nutrition that I then get bored of and I end up going and binge eating and stopping myself from seeing progress. So if you can be consistently good the majority of the time, you will see more results over a longer period. And let's be honest, we're doing this for sustainability and longevity. You're not just trying to get a fit body and look aesthetic for a summer, for a couple of months. You're really trying to build a routine that you can stay consistent with for the rest of your life, because that is what it's all about. It's all about health and longevity, and if we can focus on that, focus on feeling good, doing good, the physique will come. So focus on taking consistent action instead of unbelievably intense action that doesn't really last for that long. Time management hacks for fitness. Now, your days are never going to look the same. Your weeks are going to be very different. Your months, your years, situations could change. And that means that what worked for you in the past might not work now. What you've done in the past might not work now. And we have to change those things. So, for example, maybe in the past you've been able to do a 6-day-a-week body part split where you're doing chest, back, arms, legs, and breaking everything up into the body parts. However, maybe your life's changed, maybe you've got more commitments, maybe you're struggling on time. Those things have to be compressed. So instead of 6 days in the gym, cutting it back to 3 days and making sure you're doing full body, intense workouts where you might be in the gym an hour and a half, but you've only got to get to the gym 3 days of the week, making it much more achievable, cutting out time for traveling, cutting out other obligations, or allowing you to go see other obligations without committing so many days to the gym. If you're short on time in the gym, then look at increasing your intensity. If you can't do an hour's session, then make sure you're cutting everything down, you're doing compound movements, the most effective exercises, and if you're only doing 1, 2, or 3 sets, you're going hard on those sets. You're pushing yourself to the extreme. You're not just faffing around. You're not just moving the weight. You're going in with purpose and intensity to make sure that yes, you're doing less. Yes, you're spending less time in the gym, but you're really trying to get towards muscular failure sooner by working harder. If you can't get to the gym every single day, if you're crazy busy this week and you won't be able to fulfill your program, then we can look at making sure you're cutting everything down. Making sure the workouts you do, we're tweaking to make sure you're getting what you need to in. So if you normally do a 4-day split, cutting it down to 2 and tweaking those 2 workouts to be more intense. And that might just be for this week, and then next week you can go back to your normal routine. Making sure you're staying active every single day is really important as well. But sometimes you can't fit in an hours long walk. Sometimes you can't go to the gym to go get cardio done. So trying to find small times that you can inject activity, like walking for meetings, walking to go get a coffee. If you're on a meeting and you have the option, take it on a phone call and go a walk outside. Add 5 minutes of walking after every single meal or break in work. If you take a break in work before your lunch, go a 5-minute walk. If you eat your lunch, then go a 5-minute walk. You've now added 10 minutes of walking into your day that weren't there before. If you do that 5 days of the week that you're in work, you've now got 50 minutes of walking. If you then implement simple tricks that are often overlooked, like parking your car further away, walking to the shops, that can stack across the week. Walking a wee bit further when you're trying to do your normal routines, that can stack over the week. And minutes can turn into hours over the course of a week, which can turn into even greater amounts over a month, helping you get there. And let's be honest, trying to add in small 5-minute walks throughout your day, whether it's morning before work, after work, at lunch, trying to get 3 of those in, that is so much more achievable than trying to just set out for one big long walk every single day. If you are unable to get to the gym and be at the gym, then there's other aspects of fitness that we can look at. Your mobility, your flexibility are crucial to be an effective gym goer, to be effective at building muscle. If you're tight and sore, you're not going to work out as well. So some days it might be better to miss the gym if you've not got time and just focus on stretching. Focus on going through a yoga routine you can find on YouTube. Focus on stretches that you know that target the areas that you're tight in. And simply just moving your body and breaking through that is going to be more important than you worrying that you're not going to be able to get to the gym. Because you can always make it up later, but doing something is better than doing nothing at all. So there's ways of fitting small activities into a very busy routine. If you are genuinely struggling for time that day, 15 minutes of stretching, really important, is going to be better than doing nothing at all. So inject movement, inject the small times you have with things that are going to get you towards your goal. A lot of people often think that trying to stay fit and healthy requires a massive amount of time. Now, we often get this perception because we see people on Instagram, we see bodybuilders, we see fitness influencers at the gym every single day. They get paid to go to the gym. And in a way, I get paid to go to the gym as well because it's part of my job. However, I don't have time to do an hour session every single day. So I sure as hell implement these things to make sure I can get a 45-minute workout done to then get back to the office, to then fit in a session with it, or fit in my own workouts between client sessions. I sure as hell implement supersets to get through exercises faster. I sure as hell don't waste time on my warm-up sets. I don't take any rest periods on those warm-ups and just power through it so I can then get to my working sets that are going to be infinitely more beneficial. 3, build non-negotiable fitness habits. So these are small things that you do daily, that you commit to make sure that every single day you're emphasizing creating habits around your fitness goal that are specific to your fitness goal, that are going to keep you consistent no matter what. Now, people often in hectic times of life start to break away from these habits, right? So for example, when you start to get busy, the thing that first takes a hit is your sleep. You first then are like, I'm going to have to stay up later to get this task done, to get uni work done, to get this deadline completed, to push, to finish off that one task. But that then has a knock-on effect on your tomorrow. You are then less productive, you're less efficient, you take more time to do simpler tasks, you feel worse, so you're less likely to get more done. Whereas if you constantly sleep 8 hours and are an effective worker with the time you have, you're going to get more done and you're going to feel better within yourself, then meaning the task that you're doing is going to be done to a higher standard. So that is emphasizing the purpose of having these non-negotiables and sticking to them during hectic times. So non-negotiables could be walking 10k steps every day, making sure you're not staying sedentary and not staying in a seated or lying position too long each day, because that will reflect on your body. Making sure you're tracking your calories each day so that you know what you are putting into your body so you can expect results. If you are even tracking your calories but you overeat, you know that you're going to expect to see weight gain. But this is only done if we can take consistent action with tracking calories. If you have overeaten and you've tracked your calories, you know that you might need to adjust later on in the week so that you don't see weight gain. If you've overeaten by 500 calories, you can then put yourself in a deficit of 100 calories spread over the next 5 days to balance that out. So tracking calories, really important. Making sure you're doing some form of mind management. This is very, very important to make sure you're not getting too stressed out, particularly in hectic times. There's no point in doing these things when all is good. What is important is when things go to shit, you then are doubling down on these. So if you're getting stressed out because of what's going on in your life, it would be more beneficial then to do mind management, such as breathing techniques, journaling, doing some yoga, doing a hobby that takes you away from devices and just gets you thinking about your hobby and focusing on that, like drawing or painting. Reading some books, reading some pages every single day to make sure that you're not worrying about what's going on in your life and you're pulling yourself away. Whether that's fiction or non-fiction or self-help books, something you're interested in, it doesn't matter. It's just about stopping you worrying and procrastinating and overthinking. And another one that is massive for me is organization. Making sure I'm organized every single day, planning my weeks, planning my days out so that I know what I have to be doing. So I know the needle pushers. So I know what the priorities are each and every day by writing down 3 of the most important tasks in my diary and making sure those get completed over everything else. If I don't have that, you end up then spending time on stuff that's trivial, spending time on things that don't matter as much. So, if you are struggling with your fitness routine because of a busy schedule, then implement these 3 things. I guarantee that if you can implement these 3 things, you will feel like you are gaining time back and seeing more progress. But overall, it is far more important that you stay consistent, improve 1% at a time, stack your wins, and do something, because doing something is better than nothing. And if you want to learn tips and additional information on how you can balance your routine and other fitness and nutrition help, then follow me at Renegade Coaching on Instagram.